What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How is everyone doing today? First and foremost, let me apologize for not getting this up yesterday. As I mentioned, I was going to. I sat there and read this thing multiple times, and I wanted to get it right because there's a lot in here that's new, believe it or not. After you get past the past, if you will, we'll get to that in a minute. But then I found out about something after the fact that kind of soured even any of the news that's on here, which I'm not a fan of anyway. I do want to say, first and foremost, I'm going to say some negative things here. But it's out of frustration. But I'm still on board. My pre-order is staying in for my Founders Edition. And I still see the glimmer of hope that's in this, as small as it is. You know, the company has to do what they got to do to stay afloat. They got in over their head between the pandemic, mismanagement, and, you know, just blowing your load. You get excited, sometimes you just blow your fucking load. Whatever the reason is, whatever it is. There's still a glimmer of hope, and they're still trying to move forward, and if they had to shift things around, I may not like it, and it may lessen my enthusiasm for the thing, but it is what it is at this point. I just want something. I really do. I'm at that point where it's like, you know, just produce what you got to produce and get it into the hands of the people who've been around and still have money in there voluntarily. You know, pay the people who don't have it. Don't be buying shit. Just pay the people that need their money back. Please, for the love of God. And enough with the fucking past. And that's the first thing I want to talk about with this whole thing. These first couple of fucking paragraphs are just all about the past. That things that have already been said about a year ago. You know, licensing out things to make a couple of bucks for this and doing that. And we've seen this already. We've seen the M Network disappear. The M Network was purchased outright by Atari. Which means one of my favorite Atari games that I grew up with, Astro Blast, will now be an official Atari product. Which is all well and good. It's fine. I can still play that. But again, there's a new piece of information, and we will get to it, that takes that information and sours the fuck out of it. So if there's any advice that this dummy here can give to the folks at Intellivision, Phil and all that, I get that you need to speak to a larger audience than the people who have actually been, you know, you still need to update people who may just stumble upon this. But enough with the fucking past, bro. Enough with the shit that's already happened. And enough with what we've already seen and heard. So hopefully I've already said this. Somewhere in this jumbled mess of corporate garble, there is some updates. They're going to be putting their games on a mobile app of sorts, if I read it correctly. So the games will be accessible, which goes back to me in my selfish point of view, saying that if it's on other platforms, which they are also going to be on, then what's the point of the Amico? You know what I mean? I don't get it. But at least something's coming up. At least something, hopefully, will be coming up. What the app is going to be about, I don't know. They're just calling it Amico Home or something to that effect, and you're going to be able to get games. The one part I do kind of like, and it's kind of a spit in the face, but it's also, if they pull it off, a positive thing. The Amico Club. Do you remember the virtual shirts, the IR shirts, whatever the hell you want to call them, and the little card that we got? And it was supposed to give us access to, you know, discounts and early access to things. Well, that all went out the window. They blew their load with that, and that's long gone. No one even talks about it anymore. And I still have my cards. I still have my t-shirts and all that. But they're going to be doing something to that vein for those who still have a pre-order in with them. They're going to thank them, rightfully fucking so, by giving them that kind of access in this thing called the Amico Club. I'm going to assume it's going to be through the website, something that you can register and log into. There's going to be some kind of a verification process coming up here, something to that effect. Okay, fine. I mean, that's something, and hopefully that'll come out very soon, like very soon, because the folks who are still involved here, who aren't overly excited still, you know, I'm not to pick on any of my good friends. Good for them, you know. But they get to experience the thing, and I don't. So, you know, they can be excited all they want, and they have information that I don't. So, I can only play with what I have on hand. I think I'm done with that. If you have a pre-order still, by all means, you're going to get something here, hopefully. If you've been wanting your money back, and I know that's been a big problem, I really think Intellivision needs to step up before they do anything and take care of that. Even if it shuts the fucking thing down. I hate to say it for all my buddies, you know, the DJCs out there, the Mike Millis's, and so on and so on. I want this thing to come out as much as you guys do. You know that. You know that. You guys got to play it with me, some of you. And you and I, Chuck, got to play Astro Smash together. And we had a great time playing it for a good half hour or so, and that was a blast. But first and foremost, I think Intellivision's priority needs to step up and do the right thing. Again, company be damned. If you made a promise of, you know, a refundable deposit, it should be refundable or go bankrupt. It's really that simple. Moving on with that idea, being bankrupt, this right here, this is why I didn't do the video last night. This one line I've highlighted. Hopefully you can see the highlight. Okay, you can. BMG Entertainment. Whatever the hell. Oh, shoot. All right. You know where it is. Acquired Astro Smash and Shock Intellivision properties with all rights, their Toto Popo from Intellivision Entertainment. This information here is what made me not want to at first do the video. I needed to mull on this one. I needed to stew on this one because Astro Smash is like the biggest selling key feature to me. And the fact that they don't even own it anymore. It's like, I know it'll be on the console if it comes out. But them selling these two things off and then going back to the M Network situation, this looks more like a liquidation before bankruptcy. It really does. I don't want to put any ideas in people's heads. I got to call it as it is and how I feel. And I feel like that if you're going to sell off Astro Smash and Shock, not license it, sell it. They acquired these things. Then I think they have no faith in it themselves. And the lack of information coming out leads me to that myself. So, you know, here I am 50-50. Okay, they're going to put out an app and whatever, and maybe that's what they'll do. They'll be in the app business. I wish I could remember exactly where it was. But in here, it says that one of our priorities is, yeah, to get a console out too, you know? I wish I could find the exact quote, but either way, it's worded such that it's basically telling us that we would love to do this console thing, but it's a little harder than we thought it would be, and things went too messy, and we can't seem to fix that. So we're going to do these other things to make money, and hope to get the console out, because that's one of the things we kind of want to do, you know. But right now we have to focus on this, and like I said, I'm 50-50 on this. If you need to keep the company afloat to bring the console out, that's great. But I think the steps that are taken are going to water down the desire for the Amico. People are literally going to say, well, and you can say about the family experience all you want, and you're right. You're right. I think that would still be a selling point if it's marketed to the right people like it was supposed to have been. And maybe leaving us out of it should have been the biggest fucking thing that happened, you know? But we latched onto it, and Tommy latched on to us, and it happened the way it happened. And you know what? We all got something out of it. So, but the fact that they sold off Astro Smash and Shock took a lot of hope away from the situation, in my opinion. Took a lot of hope away. And if anyone wants to, you know, message me personally, I'll keep my fucking mouth shut. You know, to let me know that there is hope, then by all means, please do. But this getting rid of these two titles tells me that it is the beginning of the end, and I hate to do that. Again, my buddies, I'm still Team Intellivision Amico. I am. I want this fucking thing, but I got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, I still don't think it's a big scam. I think things got fucked up. You know, people spoke a little sooner than they probably should have. You can interpret that any way you like. I'm not going to interpret it as nefarious, and that's where my difference is. I don't think the intent to be nefarious was there. I think Intellivision needs to stop with the fucking past. Enough with what happened. Let's move forward in what's happening. Get people their money. Give them their money, first and foremost. Again, jobs be damned. Just step up, do the right thing. Move on with this app stuff. And we'll just see where it goes from there. And if the company stays afloat, then I'll be excited to follow and see what happens. And if it doesn't, then we'll end this chapter finally, thank God. Because if it doesn't move forward positively, I really don't want this chapter to keep going. I don't want this whole thing to keep going. I want it to either just end or happen. And that's where I am at. Guys, I know I'm going to hear back from you guys, so I don't even have to ask you to leave feedback. But still, thumbs up, thumbs down, all feedback to the Creep is positive. And just because I disagree with you doesn't mean that your question is invalid or anything, you know. Unless you're being a dickhead about your question. There's a difference. There really is a difference. And learning that is not hard to do. But guys, thank you for listening to my rant. Hopefully I'll be able to edit this properly because I have to do it on the laptop and I'm not familiar with that process. I do everything on this, guys. Everything. But either way, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Phil, reach out if you want, man. Reach out if you want. I know I'm nobody. But, you know, if there's some things that you can say to me that'll ease my anxieties right now about this whole thing, by all means, please do. But otherwise, like I said, please just give these kids the money back. And next time we get an update, please make it moving forward and not spending half of it talking about what has already happened, because that is already well documented. Guys, thank you always so much for watching. I can't say that enough. Don't forget to... the Alzheimer's Association, we're going to be kicking that off here at the first of the month. I'm going to go big this year, hopefully. I didn't do anything last year. I was just I was too down, you know? I was too down for the count, but I'm back. I'm coming back! Television, you better come back. Or go away. But with that, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye. At least I have a pouch with a controller disc. I might put a piece of that in my Mandalorian costume, actually.